Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to this overdue intermission for the Nioh 2 Let's Play. This is just going to be a big jumble of little things that wouldn't really slot neatly into the main Let's Play, narrated by your host, me, David Attenborough. Because Nioh has a million mechanics nestled inside of systems, wrapped inside so many menus, a lot can go missed, and while some of this easy to overlook stuff isn't vital, I think it's worth at least pointing out and trying to do some diligence to be as thorough as possible. Some of these things affect the gameplay in very minor or incremental ways, and others just lend the game some more personality. And what we have first today is one of those latter things, a series of secrets I only just recently learned about. So on the map menu for each region, each chapter of the game, there are hidden locations, and when your cursor passes over them, it'll turn red. It'll go from blue to red, and if you tap X at that point, it will dig up some items, or I think it's just one item per, and some flavor text about the location, like in the mountains here in the Dawn chapter, Mount Oe, which is said to be the home of Shuten Doji and many other demons and spirits before him. Lore about Mount Oe can even be found in the Kojiki, the earliest written record in Japan, and we get a demon's horn for finding that. There are dozens of these spread across each chapter. And then, from the starting point in each chapter, there's the hut and the hidden Teahouse. I'm lumping those together because they interact a little bit. So from here, you can change your appearance. You can even go back to being William from Nioh 1 if you want. You can manage your equipment sets, which is pretty handy if you're frequently trading things in and out. You can even go through some art, which includes pretty detailed bios for various characters and yōkai, like the Scampus. You can even get in real close. And of course, also the Guardian Spirits are represented here. All the characters we've met. And we even get a movie viewer, a cutscene viewer. And then also, there are some other cosmetic aspects to this. You can invite Guardian Spirits over, though I prefer the company of the cute Kodama. And you can even decorate it with tea sets and utensils that you find over the course of the game. There's even a couple of different possible huts that you can vibe in. And utensils have some limited game impact, but the only things they really affect are your luck stat, how much gold you get, and the drop rate for utensils themselves. And when you do find a utensil, you can bring them over to the hidden Teahouse to be appraised. It's kind of like IDing items in Diablo.
家臣どもにむやみに広めおったい茶の湯のなんだ戦場おのしますどれわしが見定めてしんぜまずまずじゃな
And then the other major use of the hidden Teahouse is to join a clan and participate in clan battles, which is an online feature. So there are weekly and daily challenges, which mainly consist of you donating specified items to the clan in exchange for glory that you can spend on items, skins, and new gestures. More substantially, there are dozens of clans that you can join, and each of them have some gameplay perks, like my clan, the Toto, which gives you a life bonus that scales with your stamina, and a damage bonus scaling with your equipment. I think there are clans with better perks suited to me, but I don't really sweat it all that much. And then another thing you gain access to from the starting point in any given region is the Smith, which is a menu within a menu full of smaller sub-menus, many of which have their own sub-menus, but some of the more useful ones, to be fair. This is where you can buy and sell some equipment and tools, disassemble armor and weapons for composite crafting materials, craft new stuff, and also refashion / glamour / transmog your stuff. And then the big ones, I think, are soul matching and tempering. Soul matching is similar to soul fusion for soul cores, which we covered earlier in the LP, in that you take your base low-level weapon, usually one with a bunch of desirable attributes, and then you use a higher-level piece of equipment with less desirable traits to juice up the base weapon, which keeps it relevant as you move on in the game and better stuff drops. So you don't just have to abandon whatever you had grown partial to. And then tempering lets you re-roll those less desirable perks on items. And then the smith also has some other menus when you talk to her. One of which is something really easy to miss out on, which are the patronage points, which you can spend to get discounts or markups on what you sell to her, or more inventory. And you can gain patronage points by spending money on her services, so it's kind of like a loyalty program. And that is not the only menu of points that you can invest to make a fractional difference in the game. If you open the menu and go over to titles, you'll occasionally get these titles for just playing the game and doing random things like defeating a certain number of a certain type of yōkai. And whenever you get one, you'll get one of two types of prestige points, Agyo and Ungyo, which you can invest for very small buffs with each point, and they'll rotate every time you spend a point. And also, speaking of menus and sub-menus, here is what that skill specking system I was talking about earlier in the LP. Here is how that works, where you can equip passive things that you pick up in the skill trees and slot them into specific active skills, like Murderous Strike on Mortal Retribution, that flipping strike in high stance. So with Murderous Strike equipped to it, whenever it kills, it'll heal me for a fraction of the damage. Really like the level of customization that enables. And finally, returning once again from Nioh, something I've mostly been doing off screen, which are dojo missions. These are short challenges that unlock the later tiers in the skill trees, and new dojo missions usually open up as you traverse through the chapters, and they're unlocked as you gain proficiency with your weapons or with ninjutsu by just using ninjutsu items repeatedly. And for the Onmyo magic challenges, it's the same deal. Just use Onmyo magic repeatedly and you'll gain proficiency points to unlock their dojo challenges. Like, I think the one that we're doing right now against Bakuden is for the veteran melee weapons. And that just unlocked with the most recent chapter that we're on in the main LP, Dawn. And when I say challenges, I'm showing this one so you know what I mean. There are duels like this where the challenge isn't super high and the enemies aren't terribly interesting. Mainly just humanoid enemies with movesets that you've seen before from all the other basic humanoid enemies. Minor boss fights, basically. But are important to do nonetheless so that you get your skills unlocked. And with that complete, that's about everything I want to show off in this intermission. We will be back to the main playthrough next time. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.